Hi guys, it's Vlogtober the 28th and I almost forgot to vlog today. Today I've been reading Anne of Green Gables and Anne of Avonlea, and I watched the last couple of episodes of Chuck Season 5. I guess what I've been doing a lot of today in that is I've been thinking about the way that I connect to literature and the things that I watch and the way that things make me think. For instance, whilst reading Anne of Green Gables and Anne of Avonlea, I've been thinking about my childhood and how I relate to people and the way that I must have come across as a kid. Because I have to be honest here, I was a pretty weird kid. Much like Anne, but in a different way, I guess. Given that the sense is that I was a bit of a freak, I was a real bookworm, I didn't like to play outside, I was incredibly serious, and I was given to using words longer than I was, I guess. And how people around me dealt with that, and the way that I adapted and grew up, and the things I'm passionate about. I've also been thinking a lot about the character of Marilla. One of the first interactions that Marilla and I had was that we were doing one of those Askbox things, put a character in my Askbox you think I am like, and she thought I was like Marilla. And it's been really interesting reading that character and seeing the qualities of Marilla and what she valued and the way that she handled stuff, and seeing how I guess I do have some of her attributes. But I think the big emotional thing for me today is from watching the last couple of episodes of Chuck. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Stark Raving Christians, Stark Raving has got all emotional. And to be fair, the episode I cried in of Chuck was actually the second last. I'm not really prone to crying in TV shows, and I guess the reason is that I had a real connection to this one. As most of you know, 2.5 years ago almost, my father had a stroke. He's not old, he didn't have any of the warning signs, he just had a stroke. One day he was my dad, and probably the last thing we'd talked about was a bit of an argument, and I was gearing myself up to say some stuff to him, and he had a stroke, and he couldn't remember my name the next time we spoke. He's a lot better now, and we're able to connect a lot more, but I still really miss him, and I miss my dad, and he's there, but he's not there, I guess. He's not my dad, and he's more my dad now, and he's becoming more and more like himself, but there are still things I can't talk to him about, and still conversations I'd still like to have that I can't have. I guess with Chuck, it was really torn by that, especially with the idea that, spoiler alert, for those of you watching Chuck who haven't seen the last 5 episodes, Sarah's memory gets wiped and she loses the last 5 years of her life and can't remember any of her relationship with Chuck. And she's still there, and she's looking at him, and she looks the same and she sounds the same, but she's not. You know, as Chuck said, his wife never came home, and it made me think more about the thought of losing people that, you know, the 2 people that I live with particularly, who I really love, who they could, like, of that situation with my dad, of having that stroke and having him gone, and I just, you know, I really value the people around me, and it was really emotional for me to have those thoughts and have that moment, because I do have such a strong point of reference for it. I guess what I'm saying is that I connect to the things that I read and watch, and I'm really connected to those things, and the way that I think about those things is very intensely personal, the way that I interact with these things, and I'm getting more personal with the way that I interact with literature and movies, and in a way that I never really used to. I used to be a lot more analytical, and it used to be my big flaw that I was the spoiler queen, because I had to talk about what I'd been reading, or I had to talk about what I'd been watching, because I really wanted to know. Like, I really wanted to have a conversation about what it meant and what it looked like and how these things worked. And today I didn't feel the need to do that, because a lot of it was internalized and a lot of it was more personal. And, you know, it made me sort of kind of realizing as I'm talking about it that this is part of my Asperger's getting better, and this is part of who I am without being heavily affected by Asperger's syndrome, and it's kind of amazing. I don't know, this has gone on for nearly 5 minutes, and it's just me waffling, so I'm going to stop now, but I guess, yeah, hope you guys are having an awesome night, and I hope that you guys, especially to my Milligan Ismet 90 and Marilla Sarah, are having better chances at remembering to do their vlogs than I do. Yeah, I hope you guys are having an awesome time, whoever is watching this, and yeah.